In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to migrate a WordPress website to GreenGeeks or really to any new hosting company that you're moving to. Hey, David here. In my last video, I showed you how to make a WordPress website. The hosting company that we used was GreenGeeks, and they're great hosting because they are fast, reliable, and have great support. But one drawback that I have for them is that they only give you one free website migration when you're signing up. So if you, for example, have 2, 3, or 4 websites on a previous host and you want to migrate all of them over, you're going to have to pay a small fee, or you're going to have to try and do it yourself. And I'm in the latter camp here. I'm just migrating a couple of websites over to this account. And I thought while I'm doing this, I might as well put together a quick tutorial to show you how to do it as well. Really, this is the easiest way to migrate a website to GreenGeeks or really any other hosting company in the do-it-yourself way. So if you don't have a free migration credit left, you can follow this tutorial and get your websites also migrated over for free. Now, if you're using a hosting provider like, for example, Hostinger or WPX, those are also 2 other hosting companies that I recommend and use. They offer, I believe, also unlimited amount of migrations to their service as well. So if you are using those, then you may want to consider just using the free migration service that they provide, because that is really the easiest way if you're not going to be doing it yourself. But for this tutorial, I'll show you how to actually do it yourself, really a quick and easy way. And we're going to get started here in the GreenGeeks dashboard. And I'm going to migrate over really just one of my test websites that I've shown you before on this channel, and that is iTruckedUp. So to get started, really, we can hop onto WordPress actually to that website. So here's htaccess.com, and we want to install a migration plugin. So we can go to add new plugin, and we're just going to type in your WP Migrate, and we're going to look for the all-in-one WP migration plugin. We can install it, activate it quickly, and then in the bottom left here, or in the menu on the left, you should see a new tab here for all-in-one WP export. We're going to go and click on the export button. This is a free plugin, and using the free plugin, we can just go and export this to a file. So we'll go and export to file. And now the entire website is being packaged up into a WordPress format file, and pretty much just being put together for us to export. Okay, once that is done, you'll see a download button. Just click the download button, it'll tell you how big it is, and then that'll just download to your download folder or wherever you save your files. All right, while we're waiting for that to download, we can head over to GreenGeeks, to our dashboard, or to whichever hosting company you're using. And under our account section here, we can click on Manage. And now we just want to add that domain to our account. So we can go to Domains, we can go Add on Domains. And now I'm going to go and type in the domain name here, iTruckedUp. Oops, let's miss an R, so iTruckedUp.com. Add that domain into the account. Wait for that to load. So we're just setting up our website now on our new host. So our domain registrar, where our domain is currently registered, that is still pointing towards our old host. That we're going to change in the final step. So for me, that's Namecheap. I'll go to Namecheap, and we'll just change the Nameservers to our new host. I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video. But this is currently, we're just setting up our website now on the new host, so that when we do change the Nameservers, we're not going to be directing to just a blank website, an empty website, just an empty domain. Of course, that's a negative experience, and that can, of course, have a negative effect on your rankings in the short term. So I would definitely recommend first getting your website set up before you do change your name servers to your new hosting. All right, so our domain has now been added to our account. We can see that it's there, iTruckedUp.com. Now what we want to do is just go to whichever website you currently have live on this account, on this GreenGeeks account. So for example, the site we made was tirecritics.com. That site is currently live, so we want to go and make a subdomain for that particular site, so that we can then put our website onto that subdomain, and then afterwards we'll then clone that to the domain that we just created. And that's going to allow us to actually change things in WordPress and actually make sure that the site is how we want it to appear before we go to our domain registrar and then basically make this new hosting website live. So we want to go here and we just want to type in something like demo at tirecritics.com. That's fine, just type in demo. So that's going to create a subdomain for our website tirecritics.com, so demo.tirecritics.com. This is where I'm going to migrate that file that we just exported from iTruckedUp.com, from our old hosting, from our old website, onto our new host. Okay, so we've got there under our managed subdomains, you can see there demo.htaccess.com. Okay, now what we want to do is install WordPress on that new subdomain. So we can go to WordPress, install and manage. We can select WordPress. We can just change this to HTTPS and then select that subdomain that we just created. And then you can type in whatever username and password you want here. This is just going to be so we can access the subdomain one, so don't worry too much about it. Right, and then we can leave that blank, and then under advanced options, just go through here. We can choose a database name and username, but we don't have to for this. Just go and select whichever theme you want here. Don't choose the default theme because sometimes that can bug out. I'm going to go and select WordPress, and then we can leave all of these plugins blank, and then we can just go and install this empty WordPress install on the demo subdomain, or that's already hosted on this particular account. Right, and you can see the installation is complete. Okay, so now we can go to the installation here. We can see demo.htaccess.com. So if you want to access WordPress, all you have to do is put /wp-admin at the end of it, and it'll take you to the login screen where you can type in those credentials that you created. Or you can go here to actions and then just click on WP dashboard, and that'll open up the WordPress dashboard, the backend. All we have to do here is go to plugins, and we're going to add that WP all-in-one Migrate plugin again. So just type in some keywords here so that we can find it again, all-in-one WP migration. We'll install it quickly. And now we can go to the left here in the menu. We can see we exported previously. Now what we want to do is import. All right, so if your website is larger than 64 megabytes, you'll need to make a few more changes. So what you would need to do is change your htaccess file as well as your WP config file. So what we can do to change the htaccess file and the code you'll need, we can go add new plugin. So let's just go here quickly and just type in htaccess, and you'll get a bunch of different plugins where you can edit your htaccess file. It's just the easiest, quickest way. We'll go and install the htaccess file editor and then just dismiss that. And then here under WP htaccess editor, we can go edit htaccess file. And then you can go through this. Just be careful when changing htaccess file. Pretty much just follow what I'm doing here quickly. So here we can scroll all the way down to the bottom. Just go with 2 spaces here. And now what you need to do is copy in this particular line of code. And then here by these file sizes, you want to make sure that these are above whatever your website that you're importing. So if your website is 500 megabytes, you want to make sure that it's more than that. So just go with something like 550 megabytes. And then just change all of them here to that amount, all 3 of these. And then here by max execution time, you just want to go and change that to 0. And that just means it's going to have an infinite amount of time in order to actually process. So if your file is very large, it needs a lot of time to actually process it. So once you've gotten that changed, we can just actually go and save changes. And now we need to change our WP config file. And for that, we can go back to our GreenGeeks dashboard. And now we can go to Site and then go to File Manager. And now we can go here to the public HTML file in the left. And now here you should see the demo domain that you created. So demo.htaccess.com. And this is where the WordPress has been installed on. If you click on that, you'll see all of the WordPress files open up here. And now we can look for WP config. We can just select that and then click on edit in the top. And then just say we want to edit this. And then again here we can just go and scroll all the way to the bottom and then add in the following line of code again. And all of these codes, I'll leave a link to the code from WP all-in-one Migrate from their actual website where you can just copy this. So you can go here and just say again 550 megabytes. And this is pretty much the same as what we did with the htaccess file. And then just go 0. And then we can just go and click Save Changes. And you can see that's a success. And now if we go back to our actual demo htaccess, to our actual where we're installing this in the subdomain, if we open up all-in-one WP migration again, if we go to import, you can see that now our maximum upload file size is up to 550 megabytes, what we set. And now, of course, if your website is smaller than 64 megabytes, then you wouldn't have to do this. And you can just go ahead and install it as is. I think they also have a plugin that is premium, a paid plugin, that you can also purchase, and then that will also allow you to do that without having to actually go and change things in the config and htaccess file. But we've done it this way. I've showed you how to do this. Our file is actually smaller. You can see 44 megabytes. So we didn't have to do that, but just showing you in case you do need to. We can go here, import from, select that file that we created. So let's go and select that one. And then I'll import this now quickly onto the demo subdomain that we've created. It'll go through and check compatibility and such. And we can see now that we've got some PHP issues. This is why I like to do this on a demo subdomain. Generally, if you go from a PHP 7 to 8, this doesn't really cause too much issues really from my experience. So we'll just go proceed. And we can see now, so if something does glitch here, then of course we would have it only happening on a demo subdomain, not an actual site. So there's nothing really to worry about. So you can go here quickly and go save permalink structure. Now we have to just log in again because we've got a new install. So I'm just going to go and log in quickly with my details. And let's just get rid of that. You can ignore the issue here at the top because this is not our actual domain. So we can ignore any type of warning that you have here at the top. We are going to go and select permalink structure post name and just make sure that that has been saved. And that is done. Now, if we actually go to our website here, so if we open up our website, we can see here is our website again, the same as we have on our old hosting company or on our old host. If we just go and look at that site, you can see here's the trucked up one, here's our demo site. We've got our same website. We've copied it over now to the new host. Now what we want to do is clone this install on our demos, on our subdomain, to the actual domain that we've set up on our new host. Now to clone this onto our actual domain, onto the one that we set up, the itruckedup.com domain in our new host, we can go here to cPanel. Okay, in the cPanel, in the menu on the left, we're going to go WordPress Manager by GreenGeeks. That's going to open up this htaccess WordPress Manager here. And now we can look for that demo domain that we just created, the WordPress install, so demo.tycritics.com. We can click on the drop down here, and then we can just scroll down here and click on clone. This is going to clone this to that domain that we just created, so itruckedup.com. We can click clone, make sure that our HTTPS is selected here, and then here we can just go and choose the domain that we wanted to copy it to or clone it to. And in this case it was itruckedup.com. And then for everything else here, we can just leave it as is, and then we can just go clone installation. All right, and now our install has been completed, and you can see here that it's been successfully cloned to itruckedup.com, and then the admin is your itruckedup.com/wp admin. Now, if we actually click on this, it will still take us to the old hosting, the website there, so we don't want to make any changes yet. What we want to do now is go to our domain registrar and change our name servers to the new hosting. So for this, for GreenGeeks, we can go to our dashboard, we can go to manage, and then if you want to find your name servers for GreenGeeks, you can see them over here under domain name servers, so nameservers 1, ns1.greengeeks.net. We can just copy that, and then the second one is ns2. And now I use Namecheap. This domain is registered on Namecheap. You can just go to Namecheap or whichever domain registrar you have. Go to our dashboard, and then I'm just going to go to our domain in the domain list, and I can find itruckedup.com. There we go. And then we can click on manage. And then over here, if your name servers have custom DNS settings, we're going to be looking for the name server section here. If you are managed on Namecheap, you'll have the Namecheap basic DNS settings here. But if you are using a separate hosting company, then you have custom DNS settings most likely here. And these we can then just paste in here from our GreenGeeks account. So let me just give it a third one. We only have 2 name servers. And we're going to change that to nameserver 1, nameserver 2. As I said, here in our GreenGeeks dashboard, we're just copying that in. And then we're going to click on the save button. And that has now changed, and this may take up to 48 hours to take effect, but generally the propagation for name server changing is quite quick. So what we can do is go and look at, so we can open up a DNS propagation checker. So just search for DNS propagation checker, and that'll have your website like what's my DMS you can use, and then here you can just type in itruckedup.com, and we're going to look for our name servers, and then we can just hit the search button. And you can see that they've already changed now to GreenGeeks on most of them. So not all of them have been done yet, but we can see that most of them have changed to our GreenGeeks, to our new host. So if we now go back to actually that htaccess install, we can open up htaccess, and we can see that our website is now on our new host. The best thing for this really to do is just go to a fresh browser. So I'm going to open up my Safari here and just make sure that my history is cleared. And then we can go htaccess.com. And there is our website now live on our new host. Now the next thing really that you want to do though is just go to that WordPress installs and just go and delete the demo install that you created. So here by demo.highcritics.com, I can just go here and say delete installation. And now that subdomain install is gone, we can also go back to then our domains, go to subdomains, and then we can delete that subdomain if we want to as well. Otherwise, we can just use this subdomain to then install a new WordPress if we're going to import any more websites to this particular account. All right, so I'm just going to go remove and hit the remove button, and that's pretty much that. If you're using Ezoic, then your domain is most likely pointing to Ezoic's nameservers. And what you'll need to do is change some DNS settings in Ezoic. Really, that's not too difficult. I'll just show you how to do that quickly. But if you're not using Ezoic, then we're pretty much done here. You've migrated your website from your old host to your new host for this tutorial, GreenGeeks. And if you are using Ezoic, what you can do is just go to domains and then go to the DNS zone editor. And now we can scroll to htaccess.com. And we'll go to manage records, and then here you'll have your DNS records. You basically just want to copy all of these records to your Ezoic account. So to do that, we can open up Ezoic. So I've got some accounts in Ezoic, not this particular site, but I have some. And we can go to the settings, and then you want to go to DNS. And then here in the DNS settings, you'll just go add DNS record, add a new record. You can also go and edit them if you want, but I generally will just delete all of the ones that are not relevant here. That are the ones that I can delete, I'll delete. And then just go add DNS record. And you'll type in things like, for example, if we go to this one, you've got your type is your A record. We'll go here, and then the DNS record type is A. And you can see here, there's other ones like CNAME, your MX, etc. You can go and select whichever one it shows there, and then you can type in the name, the value, and then for our GreenGeeks hosting, everything is this time to live TTL. This is the time section here, so time to live TTL. 14,400, this is seconds, and all of this equates to about 4 hours. So for all of our options here, we'll go and select the 4 hours one. And then depending if you're using Cloudflare with your Ezoic or not, you'll select the Cloudflare option. And then once you've done that, you can just go add records, and you'll do that for all of the records here that you have in this section in your GreenGeeks or whichever host you're using in your DNS zone editor dashboard like this. Once all of that is done, there's only one thing left to do with Ezoic. If you're using Leap, if you're using the cache, you'll go to the Leap settings, and then you'll go to caching, and then what you'll need to do is scroll down to the clear all section, and that'll just clear the cache so that your new your website on your new host has been properly propagated, loaded for Ezoic to then show it to people that want to visit your site. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, then please leave them down in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. And that's pretty much it for me. I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.